up, dudes? It's Erin.
And Nicole, and this is Dude That's Fucked Up.
We're starting now, right?
Yeah,
we're in it?
We're
okay.
rolling.
Okay, cool.
As they say somewhere.
Someone says it.
Someone says.
I don't know. How are you guys?
Oh.
What's going on? What's cracking?
Happy
spooky season.
Spooky season. The spooky season 'tis upon us. And boy, am I relishing in it. Every day. I'm like, I got a fucking new pumpkin candle from TJ's.
Oh, yeah. I got the apple one, the harvest apple one.
Ooh, I don't know that one, but that sounds right up my alley.
God.
Does it smell like a pie's baking?
No, it smells like a fresh Honeycrisp apple.
Ooh.
It's delightful.
Oh, my God.
It's real nice.
I've been eating a lot of Honeycrisp apples lately.
Me too.
They're in season.
My fave. I hope you guys are feeling spoopy and snuggly and ready.
And hygge.
And just really ready to embrace this autumnal season.
Yeah.
I'm ready. So, you guys, we got a real good show for you.
Oh, my gosh.
I hope.
I hope. It's a two-parter, which is like super fun. This is part one.
Part one.
So you know that you'll have to stay tuned for some information and fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Let's see. But before we do that, I had to enunciate. I was like, before.
That's like when Pete talks to Siri. He gets so mad because he's always like, Siri, and she's like,
Sorry.
Farfanougat or whatever. And he's like, no, I said play this song or whatever. And she's like, Furf song or whatever. It's like by the third time he finally is like, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, you just really have to enunciate.
Yeah.
I feel like Alexa is better at deciphering our mumbles.
Ooh,
which is scary. No, it's not. It's bad. It's like NSA is fully in our house. I don't know.
We had to turn our Hey Siri off on that speaker because she was just like coming to life sometimes and it was real creepy.
Yeah, because if you say like something similar, it's like like what I just said.
Yeah,
similar. She'll be like, "Oh, what was that? I can help you with whatever you need." It's like, bitch, I ain't talking to you.
I don't need your help.
Yeah, stop.
I'm an independent woman.
Sorry. Okay, so for the biz, a couple episodes ago we announced that we got a new PO box because we finally got our ducks in order, and Nicole was very good and proactive and opened up a new P.O. box in Long Beach for us.
Well, it would have been like a long commute to pick up the mail from
DC. Yeah. So don't send us anything to our DC P.O. box. That's done. But our new P.O. box is 18923 Long Beach, California, 90807.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so we mentioned that, and somebody sent us some stuff, and it is so fucking cool.
Oh my God.
Amanda from Close Call Studio sent us some very, very cool stuff. Nicole has been following her on Close Call Studio on Instagram, and like we figured out that she also followed the podcast on Insta. So, and she was so cool and sent us a really nice note and some really awesome stuff. So check out her Insta.
Yeah.
It's just Close Call Studio.
So much merch. You can buy all this stuff. Yeah. At Close Call Studio, or also closecallstudio.com is their website. But you could like buy stuff from them. Yeah. It's like the cutest, like, she makes like these little felt, look at this. It's like,
let me see.
All these little felt, these are just a bunch of little tomatoes in a bowl. And they look like real tomatoes, but they're very cute and they're made of felt.
So cute.
But there's just like little ornaments and gifts and like bandanas she sent us, which are very cool. Erin got like a witchy kind of one, and I got one that says good vibes only, and it has a bunch of vibrators on it. It's very fun.
Very cool.
And she has stickers and like it's just like God. Koozies and so much cool, fun, like
great gifts,
yeah, but also like great for you.
Yeah,
if you want to buy yourself something, treat yourself.
I just spit
you know what we say, be
excellent to yourself
and each other. So that's to yourself. Buy yourself something first, and then to each other, then gift it to other people.
Like, don't you do that when you go shopping? Like, you're like shopping for somebody else, and you're like, oh, I better just get myself something.
Yeah,
because I'm here. I might as well.
Why are the holidays so expensive? Because for every gift I buy someone else, I buy one for myself.
One for you, one for me. One for you, one for me. Amazing.
Anyway, thank you to Amanda, because honestly, we were just like, oh my God, this is so nice. And
so sweet.
Yeah, and just, we got so much stuff, and I can't wait to wear my shirt.
Oh, God. Anyway,
Oh my God.
thank you.
Wow.
You guys, we had a little adjustment period where we weren't recording any Patreon content.
Yeah.
But this month we have some good stuff.
Back on, bitch.
We're back on, baby. We got a Benny Frank's bonus sode
Oh my
on
God.
our Patreon that just went up. We do our Q&A. We have if you have any questions for us on the Patreon, feel free to submit there. And we got some other good stuff coming up that we're gonna do.
Oh my God, Benny! It's not even just like about Benjamin Franklin. It's like his whole life or whatever. We honed in on his time in Paris, and it was fancy.
Yeah.
And it was sexy.
Yeah.
And it is just
weird.
A wild ride.
It's a weird time. I when I was doing the research for the bonus episode, it reconfirmed my love for Benny Franks. Like, I really do love him. He's precious. He's one of our founding fathers, and he's very important.
He's a founding daddy.
He's a founding daddy. Yeah.
Gross.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything fucked up this week?
Okay, so I was at the beach with some friends that were in town, and we brought Jack, and
you were on the actual beach?
Yeah, we're on the actual beach.
It was like beach day.
Yeah, it was beach day, Hermosa Beach. We were chilling. It was so perfect, beautiful day. And Jack has been to the beach a couple times, and he's still like not sure about everything that's happening. It's a lot, very overwhelming.
Yeah.
So, but he has started to realize he likes playing in the sand.
Oh.
So he got real sandy. But with that means he also got a lot of sand on his hands and also ate food and was eating a lot of sand essentially.
Oh.
And he ate a lot of food too. He was like crushing raspberries and cheese and just a lot of stuff.
A growing boy's appetite.
He was very hungry, and then he had his first throw up. Yeah. Like,
because he ate too much?
First big boy throw up, yeah.
Oh.
So gross, really fucked up.
Did it scare him?
Yeah, so it was really sad because he started eating a piece of watermelon, and he fucking loves watermelon. And then he started crying. Like, we were just like, what's wrong? What happened? And then he started doing the mouth sweats where he's just like drooling, and I was like, oh no, I think something bad's gonna happen. So I picked him up like an idiot, and then he just puked all over my shoulder. But I was able to maneuver so it went down my shoulder, and I was wearing a bathing suit, so I
I wasn't wearing any shoulder.
I wasn't wearing any clothes. Yeah. So it just went down my shoulder onto the sand.
You rinse it off.
We rinsed it off.
Yeah.
Kicked the sand. Nothing happened.
Done. Oh my God, it's like it never happened.
It was like it never happened, but he was real sad about it. It was so sad.
Oh.
I know. But then he was fine. He totally puked and rallied.
Has he
like a savage?
Has he shat any out yet?
No.
Oh.
No. I think I don't know. There might be a couple little sandy poops.
Yeah.
Oh
man, he just wow, he just was living his best life, but then he doesn't know his limits yet. He's just a baby.
And that was the thing. It wasn't just that he was eating food with sandy hands, because you can't clean your hand.
Yeah.
No. Fucking
even
insane.
as an adult, if you're at the beach, you're gonna eat sand.
Yeah. I had sand in my mouth. It was gross.
Right.
But also I turned around and he was just grabbing handfuls of sand and literally putting it in his mouth. So I think that was the culprit. It was the sand and eating too many raspberries at once.
The volume of sand.
Yeah.
Yeah. My nephew, I've seen a lot of pictures on Instagram of him just mowing down on sand.
Yeah.
It's just and you just, it's well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, as long as there's no cigarette butts or glass mixed in there, then,
yeah.
Got to make sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my fun fucked up parenting situation. Haven't had one of those since the cat vomit incident, but it is vomit related, so yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh, I will never forget it as long as I live.
Oh my God, he's putting too many things in his mouth. But you know what? That's what babies do.
That's what babies
do.
They
just put things in their mouth.
Yeah.
Is that because they're learning with their mouth?
Yeah, that's their number one sensory input.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know.
Woof.
So yeah, that happened. Poor buddy.
My God. Well,
what about you?
I went and saw Hustlers yesterday morning, which I wanted to see it with you, but then our schedules are just so opposite.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I can't wait any longer. I have to see this before it's not a popular thing anymore because I want to be in the know about it.
Yeah.
Well, here's the good news. You don't need to see it in a theater.
Okay, that's fair.
You don't need to see it at all, honestly.
No, is it bad?
It's fine. Listen, I have a theory, and it is that this whole movie was made for Jennifer Lopez to have a documented video of her stripping.
Okay.
And dancing in a thong.
Okay.
Where you pretty much see her, like, labia majora.
Oh.
And it is fucking good. Like,
yeah,
you want to see
it's
this.
It's high and tight, yeah.
It is. She looks so fucking good. Like, of course do this movie if you look like that and you're 50.
That's what I like, that's what I'm here for. Like, I'm here for Jennifer Lopez to be this goddess that we need to worship. Like, that is, I'm ready for it. I will see it. I want her to have my money.
Yeah. Oh, like, then maybe you should see this in a theater. Also, like, you get to see her so big.
Yeah.
Her everything is fucking flawless.
Also, that's like, movie magic, but still. Yeah.
Well, maybe, but it's not like they're using that, like, gel filter that they use on, like.
Yeah.
Who's guilty of that? There's some actresses where, like, it'll cut to them in a scene and they look, like, blurry.
Nicole Kidman, maybe?
Maybe Nicole Kidman, yeah. I'm thinking also maybe a little bit older, like Goldie Hawn or something, and it's like, or even I think, I don't know who I'm thinking of, but where it, like, cuts to them and you're like, wait, why are they using a completely different filter for this person? It looks weird.
Yeah.
They didn't even do that. There was no, like, there wasn't a lot of tricks.
Yeah.
And you're seeing, literally, she's wearing a G-string, like, thing, like leotardy thing, but the back is, like, one string up her whole back.
Oh, yeah.
And she's, like, pushing her butt out, like, and you can, I don't know how you don't see into her asshole, except that her butt's so big, it doesn't gape her when she, like, pushes her back out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, I feel like if I got on all fours and I popped my booty out, you'd see clear into my asshole. But her butt is so voluptuous that it still is closed, and that's magic in itself. But anyway, after that, the movie goes downhill. I was like,
but it's based on a true story.
Yeah, and it's fine. But the storytelling of the movie is, like, not suspenseful. You're ahead of it the whole time.
Sure.
It's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
It's fine. But the first, like, 10 minutes of that movie are great. Pete's favorite part was when Usher came into the club.
Oh, God. Did he do a choreographed dance for everybody?
No, but it was like the storytelling of it is like, our last and best night we ever had was when Usher came to the club and the DJ put on his music and we danced for Usher on stage.
It's like, ooh, what a low bar.
Well, I think what happened the next day was that, like, the stock market crashed and they all lost their jobs. So it was like they went out on a high.
Fair. Okay.
And it was like Usher in his peak.
Oh, yeah.
Which also, he was able to make a cameo because he has not aged. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, him and J-Lo just doing some Santeria or something. I don't know. There's something happening.
Ooh. What a transition. That's witchcraft if you don't know, or if you don't listen to
Sublime. Dudes, we are talking about the Salem Witch Trials.
Oh,
spooky.
And there is too much spooky for one episode, so we have split it in half, and we're giving you 2 parts, bitch.
Hey. God, what a fucking terrible time.
I don't like any of this. All of it, I'm just like, how did this happen? Like, there were adults in the room, right? Like, what? I just don't understand. But everybody was just in such a fucking frenzy.
I mean, this is what happens when everybody's boring and bored. And you're not allowed to wear anything cool or do anything cool.
And no one's seeing any titties or any butts. Like,
nothing.
You know what? I saw that movie yesterday. I'll be satiated for months.
Yeah.
I'm not bored.
Yeah.
I had a great time and it's going to carry me through.
Yeah.
But people weren't doing that. They were covered head to toe. They had a fucking bonnet on.
Oh my God. It was like drab city.
Category is drab.
Okay, let's just like paint a little picture here. So this is set puritanical America. Like the New England is just starting. It's the colonies. Like everybody is just trying to survive. We have, cold weather. We have Native Americans being like, get the fuck out of here. We have wars going on because England and France own all this territory, technically, and they're fighting over it, and they hate each other. And
disease.
There's
famine.
Smallpox is happening.
Yeah.
Like, just all this horrible shit is going on. And so then you have this, like, very small group of people trying to settle this land. And those are the people that we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
In New England here. So these are religious refugees from England and wherever. And they're looking to be alone with their creepy ass Bible lifestyle. Like,
they're like, if this is Disneyland.
No offense, but this was real.
Offense, because Puritans are fucking psycho.
Yeah, this is we use puritanical as a like adjective to describe really repressive shit, and this is the crucible, if you will, pun intended, for which it was forged. All the worst patriarchal shit that we have based our society off of comes from this shit.
We're still dealing with the repercussions of this shit.
Still dealing with it.
So it was bad.
It was rough. So in the late 1600s, England and France, like I said, they were beefing. What else is new? They
were buffing.
Buffing. Buff. I have a buff with you. and they're fighting, and it's called this little war that they had going on was called King William's War, which is it was a war upstate New York, Nova Scotia, and Quebec, and it sent refugees into the county of Essex and specifically into Salem Village in the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Salem is different from Salem Village. So Salem Village is present-day Danvers, Massachusetts. And then Salem Town, there's colonial Salem Town became what is now Salem.
Regular Salem.
So all these displaced people created a major strain on Salem's resources. So there was like beefing families, tension between people that were coming in using, it's just like classic, get the fuck off my land.
Yeah.
That's not really my land.
Right, yeah.
Just very classic America.
America before it was America.
Yeah. The OG, not in my backyard people. So yeah, there's like some people that were wealthy and then some people that were less well off, and they're dependent on agriculture, and they're fighting over land. It's just a whole mess. And then there's this one guy, Reverend Samuel Parris, who became Salem Village's first ordained minister in 1689. And he was just a fucking asshole. He was just like, everybody's like pretty rigid, but he was like
the most rigid,
just the worst. And he was just like greedy also.
Ew.
So he's just the worst.
Yeah.
All the things that you hate about, like the caricature of somebody during this time, he's embodying that. And everybody didn't like this guy, but he's like the reverend or whatever, so they have to listen to him. And he's running shit, but then also at the same time, a lot of the villagers thought that a lot of the quarreling came from the devil. That was their main. That was like the thread that ran through all of their lives. Like anything bad that happened, devil,
yeah,
devil. So
like that's how they were explaining
anything bad happening.
Right.
But of course, this Paris guy, he's a man of God, and so he's obviously untouchable.
Yeah.
So that's just to set a little tone for the tension that's building in this town. And on top of all this, the inherently these puritanical values are just extra shitty to women.
Yeah.
So
well, because women were like, so they believed that men and women were equal in the eyes of God, but not in the eyes of the devil.
Right.
So like men were still fine in the eyes of the devil, but women's souls were seen as unprotected, and like they were more susceptible to the devil's call or whatever.
Right.
So already they've like created this like upset of power.
Yeah.
For something fake.
Yeah. Just so dumb.
Yeah.
And human nature is not going to stop.
No.
Just because you set these rigid parameters up.
Yeah.
So
totally.
People need to bone. People need to, just be individuals.
Yeah.
And that is not good if you live in this kind of a society.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everybody was like, there was so much bad stuff happening that it was just like, okay, the devil's most certainly here.
Everything. It's like, oh, yeah, like if you have like a stomach ache or something, it's like, oh, it's the devil. Or like, oh, it's what have you done bad? It's the devil like telling you. Or whatever. Everybody was just like blaming the devil and like devilish influence on everything. And it created like this frenzy. But I feel like people started taking it like too literally, kind of like in The Water Boy when Bobby Boucher's mom's like, girls are the devil. And it's what's her name? Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
It's like meant to be taken like, oh, this is just bad.
It's supposed to be like a saying, but this is
but they were like very literal with everything. And attributed everything to the devil. So it's I don't know. I just feel like also probably with all the repression, all these dudes were having like super bad repressed thoughts about everything and just were like projecting it onto women.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And also things were just miserable. Like people they had no way to make their lives better, and that was like I mean they were trying to like forge this new society, but the way that they were doing it was just so repressive, and any kind of hardship that entered into their way of life just exacerbated whatever misery was already self-imposed, I think.
Also, I feel like they like regressed, or like they were like fighting too much their like ancestors and where they had just come from. They're like, we don't want to be anything like them. And it's like, no, you still need to like enjoy ale and like go to the pub and socialize. Like you still need to like do fun stuff.
Yeah.
But it's
there
like,
was no outlet for these people to kind of deal with anything.
They just did all that shit in like secret, and it became like dark and sketchy.
And this to me is like how it started.
Yeah.
Having this kind of repression and this kind of just need to have a way to place blame on something instead of just being like, well, that's just the way it is. Like, or not just the way it is, but shit happens.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's deal with it. Let's try to make it better. Let's try to, find solutions. It was just like, oh, this is the will of God and everything is bad because we are, we have sinners amongst us and we are besieged by the devil. Like that was the whole mindset.
Yeah.
So
totes.
When you think that way, shit's going to go sideways real quick. And also they came, like you said, from Europe, where this was already an ingrained part of life. From like the 1300s to the early 1600s, witchcraft was like poppin'. Like people were being accused of witchcraft for over 300 years already. So this was just like a part of life.
Yeah.
And then they come over to America, and that's like I wouldn't say a value, but it's part of their value system.
It's a bad value.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and in Europe they were like, oh, maybe this isn't, like, maybe we shouldn't be doing this anymore, but, like, somehow someone forgot to fax the memo over to the new U.S.
Well, because they're rejecting every other aspect. They're like, they have really gone by the wayside, and they stop killing witches. We need to go to America, bring that shit back.
Dude, we're gonna crank it up to a 10.
Yeah. Maybe an 11.
Maybe an 11. Let's overshoot it.
Yeah.
And they fully did.
They fully did. Yeah, so the Europeans were like, England was like, okay, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
We're getting a little more enlightened, but we're backwards as fuck. All the puritanical people coming to America are just like, no, we want to keep this going. Let's do it here.
Yeah.
So yeah, at this time, because women were considered more susceptible to the charms of the devil. I mean, come on, he's hot.
Oh my God.
Please.
Hot AF with a big dick.
Yeah. People were constantly just...
He's sexy as all hell. Way sexier than all these, like, flaccid-dicked Puritan assholes.
God. So rough. I thought, man.
We're, like, on the precipice of this hysteria.
Yeah.
At this point, where, like, this has been building. People are, like, accusing each other of witchcraft for, like, taking their trash out on the wrong night. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, they didn't, or it's like, oh, or the baker, like, baked a weird shaped loaf of bread. It's like, witch!
Does this bread look like a dick to you?
Witch!
Yeah.
Oh, or it's like, yeah, I don't know. Just, there's fuckery happening, and everybody's blaming each other for it.
Yeah, and a big misconception, we'll get, in our next episode, we'll talk about some of the main misconceptions, but to start, one of the misconceptions that we're going to clear up is that it was mostly women that were accused, but there was also men caught up in this too. So, yeah.
Oh, good. Well, but mostly women.
Mostly women, yeah.
And then, so also around this time, okay, so this is in New England in general. Then, specifically in Salem, this wasn't to the boiling point it maybe had reached, and it was kind of like starting to ease back into a low simmer, you know, like in Europe and in other parts of maybe like the colonies. But in Salem, this hadn't like reached the tipping point yet until this guy, Cotton Mather,
What a name.
What a name. Oh my God. This man, he was a minister. He fucking loved writing pamphlets.
Yeah, not to be confused with the Paris dude.
What? Oh, no. Samuel Paris.
Yeah, not to be confused with that guy.
No, this is Cotton Mather. Different weird name. Well, Samuel Paris isn't weird. But
yeah.
Cotton Mather is interesting. Cotton is like a pamphlet man. He's like, I fucking love writing. He loves to read his own voice. And because you can't hear it at that point because there's no radio or podcast.
Well, this was the dissemination of information was through pamphlets at the time. Like, you publish a pamphlet and it's like, that's the hot shit. That's like your Twitter feed.
That's like a pamphlet is like the equivalent of self-publishing a book on Amazon.
Yeah, totally. Or, you know what? Let's just say it. It is a podcast.
It is a podcast. Yeah. Okay, so he's like out here thinking his ideas are like so great.
This guy is like the fucking, I don't even know, Rush Limbaugh.
I was going to say Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. Yeah.
And look, some of his ideas were good. He was like one of the founding fathers of like the earlier work done for inoculation, which is like vaccines and that sort of work. So like he was sciencey and did some good things, but then on the other hand, and maybe because he was a product of his time, was also wrapped up in all this like devil bullshit. And he helped spread hysteria of like witchcraft and possession of the devil. And he like was found to be an expert of the time.
Yeah.
For no reason other than he was a self-published author.
And a man.
And a man, yeah, and a minister. And so people thought he was important, and he kind of was. And so he was brought in when one of the families, the Goodwin family of Boston, he was brought in when several of their kids started acting kooky.
Okay.
And they were like, can you, like, you know a lot about the devil. You know a lot about, like, witchcraft. We've read your pamphlet. Someone left it on our door.
I subscribe to your pamphlet, sir.
Yeah, I got an ad for your pamphlet in another pamphlet.
Yeah.
And I wanted to check it out, and I did, and wow, it was scary. But can you come, like, check out our kids? They're, like, acting psycho.
Yeah.
And so he basically detailed what he saw there. This was in 1689. He published Memorable Providences, and it was all of his observations of the Goodwin kids. And he saw, and they had, like, 5 kids out of, like, I think a couple more. Maybe there was 8 or something. But, like, several of them, not all of them, started acting real weird and were, like, having visions and fits of hysteria. And, like, no one could figure out what it was. And he was like, you know what? I think I know what it is. I think it's, like, witchcraft. And so he's like, this is my information for everyone based on my observances. Like, here,
I'm going to make this up and you're going to love it.
Yeah, he's like, I decree.
Yeah.
And then he's like, please listen to this. And everyone's like, yeah,
sure.
You seem smart.
Yeah.
He said, based on no evidence at all, witches appear spectrally as themselves.
I don't know what that means.
I think it means they, like, kind of like
embody, like, it's not necessarily a possession, but, like.
Oh, I think it's like a vision. Like, they come and appear to you as who they are, but it's like in a vision, so they're not actually there, but they can, like, make you see them.
Sure.
Kind of like how Whitney Houston's gonna tour the U.S. as a hologram.
Is that real?
Yeah, isn't it?
What?
Yeah, I think that's real.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear.
Yeah, but so it's like that shit. They're, like, projecting themselves as their, like, person to you in your room or whatever.
Love it.
Yeah.
Astral projection is tight.
Totally. Ugh. He opposed any natural explanation for the fits. So not that they were just, like, an annoying kid that needed attention in this time when, like, I'm sure they weren't getting any. Because they're, like, one of 12 kids.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, you could die at any moment. So it's like, live it up.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, there were so many diseases and weird things and mental illness that was just completely unknown, undiagnosed, and who's to say? Or, you know, any number of things could have been happening.
Totally.
So.
Totally. And that he also believed that people who confessed to using witchcraft were sane. So, like, if you accuse someone and you're like, you're a witch, and they're like, you're right, then they'd be like, oh, okay.
Oh, you're good. Okay.
Yeah, but if you didn't confess to it, then you're a fucking crazy witch, I guess.
Yeah, that'll be an important little tidbit for later, what we're going to talk about.
He also warned against performing magic due to its connection with the devil, so.
Wait, who's out there just performing magic? Like.
Fucking magicians? Magicians' assistants? No, they wish they performed the magic. Yeah. They just stand around.
They're like the barbacks of the magic world.
I hate that. I hate going into a bar and I'm like, oh, hey. And they're like, oh, no, I can't help you. And I'm like, you can't open a beer?
Yeah.
Like, just let the barbacks do their thing, too.
Yeah, well.
I get that they're busy, but if they're the only ones around, let them do it. Like, that's like a barback in, they're like in training, a bartender in training. They're an apprentice.
Yeah. Well.
And then he also argued that spectral evidence, which we'll talk about in a second, should not be used as evidence for witchcraft. Should not be used as the only evidence for witchcraft. Okay. He kind of warned everyone. He was like...
He's like, this is a thing. Yeah. This is a symptom of, like, being... like the devil being in town.
Right.
But this is not the only thing you should go off of. Okay.
Yes. He's like, look, we're going to maybe get into trouble because if we're just out here believing... Because spectral evidence is basically like these visions.
Not evidence.
Right. Spectral evidence is also, AKA not evidence, is like all they had. And they're like, oh, these kids are saying, oh, this person's like appearing to me in a vision and I think they're a witch. And people are like, okay, well, that's enough to arrest them and maybe kill them. So, all right, cool. Let's move on. Yeah. He's like, wait, I don't think that's good. This is maybe a slippery slope. And people were like, well, we'll see. And people fucking loved this publishing that he had. And they all bought into it. in Salem specifically.
Well, and I think because he was saying, like, don't just go off of this one little bit. Everybody's like, oh, yes, reason and intelligence.
Right.
Like, this was like
Yeah.
yeah. He's still like, no, there's witches, but
yeah, he's like 100% you should consider spectral evidence, but also maybe look for other things, but also definitely use it.
Yeah, so that makes it like more legitimate, I think, for some people.
Maybe,
who are
yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah.
And so he becomes
Ooh.
Sorry. So he becomes like an expert, if you will, on the subject.
Yeah.
Okay, so this putting the people on the map here. Just dropping the names of the important people. This guy was Cotton Mather was an expert, so to speak, on witchcraft. And then we're gonna get back to this Paris dude. This is where
and the actual village of Salem, because right now it's all
kind of spread out. Everybody's like, you know, we were in Boston. That's like these kids had this thing, and that's where I think Cotton Mather kind of got put on the map.
Yeah.
His pamphlets alone weren't doing it, but he finally like was consulted for a job.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna get to where all this shit kind of reaches a weird fever pitch.
Yeah. A fucking cauldron boil.
Yeah, cauldron boil. So remember I was talking about this guy Samuel Parrish or Paris. I mean not Paris. Paris. He was this like kind of leader of this town, sort of. And in January of 1692, his 9-year-old daughter, Elizabeth, a.k.a. Betty Paris, and 11-year-old Abigail Williams, which is the daughter and niece... Wait. Oh, no, sorry. The niece of Samuel Paris, begin having some weird fits. Like, these two little girls were acting out big time. I mean, that's like the onset of puberty. Like, this is when you're getting hormonal and you're fucking bored of these dumb, boring people that are making you wear gray dresses when all you want to do is like run around naked and be weird and cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
And like, you're one of like a billion kids. No one thinks you're smart or interesting because you're a child. They're probably all like, go sit at the kids' table.
Getting beaten for eating too much bread or
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, they wanted some attention and they wanted some good attention.
Oh, and also they're little girls. They're like they're just treated like shit, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so these girls they're having a hard time, and they start having violent outbursts where everybody's like, holy shit, because that, you know, everybody's very quiet and staid and, you know, just very we don't raise our voices.
Yeah.
We only talk about God. We don't do any singing probably in church.
No, not in Puritan.
No. There's so no outlet.
It's like all monotone probably and like real boring.
Yeah. And it's just the worst. Like, I can't imagine being that age and just being so fucking bored.
Oh my God. They were so bored. They were having these like violent contortions like out in public and just like at home, like fucking crab walking or like lobster walking. It's maybe because it's New England.
Yeah.
Or like clam walking.
They got crabs there. Clam walking.
Which is where you just drag your lady parts on the ground.
You lay on the ground and use your tongue to like scooch.
Ew, that's gross. Yeah, I have seen that in the video.
Yeah.
And they're just having like outbursts of screams, and people are just like, "What the fuck is going on with your kids?"
Yeah.
Well, they took him to a doctor, Dr. William Griggs, and they don't know. He's like,
I don't know.
He's like, there's nothing physically wrong with them. Like, there's no, like, they don't have an owie or, like, you know, no one's, like, scratched them or they're not, like, physically, I can't tell anything wrong from them. It must be witchcraft.
I'm just looking at him and they look fine to me.
Yeah.
And he's like not even doing any kind of doctoring.
Well, he's doing the doctoring of the time maybe, which is like nothing.
Like stick out your tongue, like
yeah, you don't have a fever.
Yeah.
They do the little thing where they whack your knee and your foot goes whoop, and then but he's like, that's fine. Your reflexes are fine.
Yeah. So he decides,
bewitched.
They're bewitched.
And this information spread quickly. It's like these girls are acting out. They got some attention. They got to go on like a trip to the doctor. They got a lollipop, whatever happens. Other girls are like, oh, this is interesting. And it very quickly spreads. And all the tweens in the town start acting a fool.
I haven't watched Euphoria, but I imagine that this of the day was like Euphoria.
Oh, I haven't watched it either, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's weird, but it makes sense, like, because trends catch on so quickly with, like, especially that age group, and especially with girls, because they're all just, like, everyone's looking to fit in, but I feel like...
But girls are in this time, especially, and now, are we're very repressed, very... Your value is placed on your purity.
How perfect you are, how quiet you are, how well-mannered you are.
Yeah, how pious and godly you are. And so this was, I don't know, probably rough.
Well, so several other young girls, ranging in age, really, because, like, they were, like, 9 to 17 years old, I think, all the girls who came forward. But immediately, a few more came forward. Ann Putnam Jr., Mercy Lewis, Elizabeth Hubbard, Mary Walcott, and Mary Warren. They all claimed they got bewitched, and they were, like, acting crazy. Which also, I'm like, do you remember the band Bewitched?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Well, I definitely saw them in concert because I think they opened for 98 Degrees.
Oh, my God.
At the Universal Amphitheater, at Universal Studios, and they sang that song, C'est la vie. It's like da-na-na, da-na-na, do whatever you want, da-na-na.
I don't remember this.
C'est la vie. Oh, okay.
Oh, my God.
Never mind. Well, that's that.
How did I miss this?
I don't know. We'll watch the video later.
Okay.
I can't find a good quality one of it because I Googled Bewitched yesterday to see what their hits were, and I was like, oh, yeah, C'est la vie. And then it's a weird video.
Okay.
And I feel like, okay, so there's, like, a real problem because there's all these young girls, and they're like, this is happening to me, and I'm bewitched, and I'm seeing visions, and that, it's like, and everyone's, it's about 300 years before the time of parenting, like, we got it, which is, like, suck it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, okay, like,
calm down. Yeah.
Calm down. And all the parents at this point were like, tell me everything. Like, what is happening?
And also, like, they were really concerned because this reflected upon them. Like, how their children were acting was so representative of, like, what was going on in their own household. So they had to, they were like, oh, fuck,
that's true.
We got to figure this shit out.
True. And it's like, these girls couldn't possibly be doing this and, like, not being honest about it or whatever. Like, It has to be the devil or whatever.
Yeah. So the parents were, like, fully like, oh, yeah, we have nothing to do. This could not have anything to do with us.
Oh, my God.
It's the devil.
Yeah. So they fully bought into all of this. And I think what happened next is that the young girls were like, oh,
they believe us. Oh my God.
Shit.
Yeah, and this is the thing.
What?
Because they were treated, I mean, they were just little girls.
Yeah.
And they wanted I don't know what they wanted, but they were seeking a outlet for their whatever frustration at just the circumstances, being bored, whatever.
Yeah.
And this was like a way to have some sort of power.
And also, if they were like, wait, what's going on? They're like, I don't know, we were just acting weird. Then the parents would be like, you're fucking in trouble, dude.
Oh, yeah.
So the girls were like, so they're like, what's happening? Like, what is wrong with you guys? And they're like, we are bewitched. And also, we're ready to tell you who's doing this.
Yeah, they had to keep this going because they couldn't. They were like in a real rough because it wasn't just that like they were like getting all this attention and stuff now. It was that it was being taken so seriously that it was scary.
Yeah.
Like it was not a thing where it was like, "Oh, crazy that's happening." It was like, "Okay, you're bewitched. Who do we need to kill now?
Oh my God.
Who and it was like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
Uh-oh, and they like put this sequence of events in motion that they couldn't stop.
Oh my God.
So it got completely out of control for them, but then they also did have some power in this and some control, and they kind of took that and ran with it. So, I don't know.
They're like,
what a weird circumstance to be in. I don't know. It just seems really scary.
If you're the girl. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But what's scarier is that they're like, oh, here's 3 people that are bewitching us. Here's their names. And then it's scary to be them.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
Because they were fully like, Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne, and Tituba. Tituba. I like Tituba. Because I like a tuba.
Okay.
But we'll say Tituba.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, those 3 people around town, they're the ones that are bewitching us, so you might want to like talk to them. And everyone's like, oh no, oh my gosh. And then the girls are like, hee hee hee.
Yeah, and these are easy targets for them because they were kind of othered, as it were, for them. So Tituba was a South American Indian slave. Like she was from probably Venezuela, they think, but like Caribbean. We don't technically know, but she was like,
she wasn't a white lady.
She was not a white lady. She was a person of color, and they were like, okay, definitely Tituba. And I want to have a little sidebar about her later because she was fucking rad.
Oh my God.
But Tituba was also Samuel Parris's slave. And she took care of his daughter, Elizabeth.
That makes sense.
Elizabeth was one of the ones I was like, oh, it's this person.
Right.
So it's like,
because she knows nobody else in the fucking village.
It's like you look around the room and you make up a name for something. It's like, oh yeah, like you look at Tituba and you're like, this is the only other person I fucking know that maybe anybody would believe is could possibly be doing this devil shit.
She was probably the only other person in like this empty like puritanical room too that they were like talking to her in or whatever. You know, it's like, isn't that fine? Okay, I've never seen this movie, but I've seen like references to it in the Usual Suspects, the last scene. Isn't it where Kevin Spacey's character just like literally names things around the room and leaves, and then they like put 2 and 2 together? Yeah. That's wild. But that's like what happened right here.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, where did this take place? She's like, books.
It happened in the library.
Yeah, books. Library.
No, they didn't let those kids read. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. How do you know what a book is?
The devil.
Table.
Yeah.
There was one left on a table.
Yeah, it's just so dumb. So Tituba was one of the first people they accused.
Let's just talk about her.
Oh,
and how cool she is.
Okay, yeah, okay. So Tituba was, like I said, the Paris's slave. And she was like, excuse me?
Yeah.
When she was accused, and she was like, oh fuck, like this is bad. I need to figure out a way out of this.
Yeah.
Because so the other 2 people that were accused, I'm gonna just talk about them really quick. Sarah Good, she was a homeless beggar, and she was just a woman who had fallen on hard times. She didn't have a husband. She had no family to take care of her. And
she didn't really go to church, so she was like an easy target, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And then Sarah Good. Oh, I just said Sarah Good. Sarah Osborne. Sorry. She also was like not a huge churchgoer. But she was kind of like this cool lady who was just trying to live her life. And I think because she maybe her husband had died, she's a widow. Yeah. So I don't know. She was just.
Well, and she was like maybe a feminist because she like, her husband died, and then I don't think you were supposed to get remarried back in those days, but she did. But she remarried her indentured servant, like after he paid off his servitude, and then like put the farm in her own name instead of like in her son's names, and people were like,
no,
you don't do that. You're a woman. You
Yeah.
don't get anything. And she's like, no, I'm gonna get mine. Thank you.
Yeah, she's like, no, I'm good here. I'm gonna. This is my farm. I take care of it.
Also, see this hot Irish dude that was my servant and is now my husband. That's my husband.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this money.
Yeah.
Like, go fuck yourself. I'm also not gonna come to church. So suck my left titty. And so she was an easy target also. Yeah. So when they were accused, when the Sarahs were accused, they were like, fuck you, we didn't do this shit. Like, I'm not a witch. Like, I don't know nothing about no devil. Like, get the fuck out of here. And then Tituba saw them get accused, and then she herself was accused. But unlike the Sarahs, who were like protesting and being like, no, we didn't do this.
Yeah.
Because everybody got thrown in jail. All 3 women got thrown in jail. But the Sarahs were like treated like shit. Like they
weren't,
because they kept denying and denying,
because they weren't witches.
Surprise, yeah. But like you had said before, one of the main tenets of
Cotton's prophecies.
Cotton's pamphlets said that if you confess to being a witch, then you're fine.
Yeah,
you're
not a witch.
You're not a witch. So fucking
Go
dumb.
figure.
So Tituba was like, oh shit. I need to get out of this.
Yeah.
And so she was like, oh.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I do know the devil. Like, he has talked to me. He has told me some shit.
Yeah.
I had to do this shit or else he was, like, going to kill me.
Yeah.
But there's other people that are real in with the devil. And so she, like, to them is privy to all this information because she's in with the devil.
Oh my God.
So she fucking played this like a champ. So she goes, all right, these white people are crazy. I know they're going to just believe whatever I say because they're fucking idiots.
Yeah.
So she goes, yeah, I know some people in this town are definitely fully in with the devil. She's like, I'm just a 1099 employee. Like, I am just working on contract. I'm not trying to, like, be fully in. But I can tell you there are people. I don't know who they are. I don't know. I'm only, like I said, I'm part-time.
Yeah.
And the dudes that, like, all the magistrate, the court was like, okay, well, we're going to need you for future stuff, for evidence. God. So they just treated her great. They were like, you're a star witness. And
she was a fucking informant.
Yeah, but not because she just made all this shit up.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, I gotta like get real elaborate. So she's a really good orator. She's a very good storyteller and very, very creative. So she would tell these like fanciful stories about things that had happened with the devil, and like, this dog over here is a fucking familiar of so-and-so. Like, she just like worked it. She worked it.
I found a fucking wand in this person's house.
Yeah, and it's like a dildo maybe? Do you guys know what that is? No? Okay.
No? Okay.
So she was like, okay, so the people in this town, not me though.
Yeah.
You got to keep me around so I can, like, let you know what some of the signs are, whatever.
Yeah.
And there was already some info out there about what some of the signs were. But she kept making up these wild details, and these idiots just gobbled it up. They just took it as gospel, and they were hanging on every word, and they're like, okay, we got to keep you around. We're not going to treat you like shit. Well, I mean, they
still did. Yeah.
Certainly did treat her like shit. But what ended up happening with her is she worked it till the very end, till all this kind of played out for a good year. Like, this whole thing, the whole entire Salem Witch Trial debacle took about a year to play out. And she just kept them all at bay by just keeping up this weird fucking fanciful story.
Oh my God.
Until it came to its terrible conclusion, and she was eventually freed from jail after many, many months of being a star witness, and the whole community was just so destroyed and shook that nobody really noticed or cared when she just was like, I'm gonna go. And she took her and her husband just like pieced the fuck out, and nobody ever heard from them again.
Good for them.
But she just, I mean,
she made it happen.
She made it happen. So she was super smart. And it's really sad because in every portrayal of her, like in every, drawing or picture you see of Tituba in the Salem Witch Trials, she's like this ugly, creepy, crone-like figure. But she was actually just probably hot.
She was a hot witch.
Yeah.
She was the Sarah Jessica Parker of witches.
But she was like 19, and they like make all the depictions of her.
Like, she looks super old, like an old scary
old
lady.
crone, yeah.
And she's always wearing like really like native looking garb and like kind of like
extremely racist.
Yeah, extremely racist. Yeah, it's because I saw those pictures and I was like, I thought she was an old lady.
No, she was only like 19 years old, like 18
poor
or
lady.
19.
Good for her.
Yeah, so
she made it happen.
She made it happen. She rode the wave and knew how to play these dumb fucking weird dudes. So
oh my god,
she made it out alive. But the Sarahs, man, they were in bad shape. They were in prison, and everything was just getting wild.
Yeah, it was. I think like. So these 3 women are like arrested.
Mm-hmm. And this is like 1692.
Yeah, this is like February 1692. Oh, like the warrants are issued at the end of February. It was a leap year. P.S. Very fun fact.
Creepy.
And the warrants for their arrest are issued on February 29th, 1692, and then they're called in on the 1st, and they start interrogating them, and then throughout the whole next month, a bunch more kids start having fits and complaining that they're bewitched, and they name a bunch more women, and like it's starting to look just like some Mean Girls bullshit, as this is like ramping up, and everyone's like, it finally gets to a point where everyone's questioning this whole thing because 2 women are named, Martha Corey and Rebecca Nurse. They're brought in on charges after like the initial kind of women are brought in. Yeah. And they are upstanding churchgoers.
Yeah. And Martha Corey is like one of the most upstanding.
She's like fucking church mom. She's like bringing in baked goods every Sunday and like making sure everyone's doing good. And she's like, that part in church where they're like, shake your neighbor's hand, peace be with you. She's fucking peace be with youing everyone out on the streets every day. She's like,
she's great.
She's a church lady.
She is one of the most pious and upstanding churchgoers. And so everybody is like, oh shit, like what the fuck? This is crazy. Like there's no way.
Yeah. Because some kid had a bad sleepover at her house or something. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Someone just names her.
Yeah.
And, like, nobody... Well, finally people are like, is this a red flag? Like, because she's, like, a good person. Are we sure any of this is real?
Well, and then people start to... But also...
Yeah.
They're like, oh, fuck, if she can be possessed by... Or if she can be brought over to the dark side by the devil, then anybody can.
Yep. And I think the reason she got named and why people were still okay with it is because she had been skeptical of all this shit to begin with, and she was vocal about it. She was like, hey, if we're like good people of God, we shouldn't be doing this, right? Like we're accusing these people, we don't have enough evidence, like this feels wrong. And people are like, shut your mouth, you witch, get in jail.
Yeah.
And so, like, by then, it was a fucking shitstorm.
This is where the term witch hunt is real. This is real. The way it's used today is offensive to these people that were victims of an actual witch hunt.
Yeah.
It's very scary at this point. I think, too, Dorothy Good, who is the daughter of Sarah Good, who was previously arrested, her 4-year-old daughter, Dorothy, was arrested and thrown in jail.
And, like, berated, and she was, like, examined, but, like, she's fucking 4 years old.
Yeah, and so they questioned the magistrates of the court. They questioned her daughter. They questioned Dorothy, And because her timid she was fucking scared.
Right.
Because she had like timid answers, it was all construed as a confession.
Oh my God.
So it's just like coerced confession. All the worst things that could happen in any kind of circumstance like this start happening. So yeah, and then they get, people are just very freaked out.
Yeah.
And so I think when people get scared, they either like join the wave and they don't want to get caught up, but if it's bad enough, you're going to get caught up anyway.
It's like how all the kids pick on the one, like, it's like how as a kid you join in picking on someone so you don't get picked on,
Mm-hmm.
you know? It's like people had to join in, which didn't help. It just like fueled all this shit, but they had to join in so no one was like, witch.
Yeah, and then it becomes like kind of a political thing too,
Yeah.
where it's like you can use it as a tool if you don't like somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So it got very fucked up very quickly.
Well, should we stop there?
Yeah, I think we should stop there, and then next episode we'll talk about the actual trials.
Oh my God.
So we just wanted to set the scene for you, let
Yeah.
you know what it was like. I mean, we're not even really giving full details about what everyday life was like, but just know that it was shitty and cold and drab.
And people were hungry, probably.
Oh, yeah. And if you got sick, you'd probably just die. That's why you had to have a lot of kids.
And you slept on like a hay mattress, like, I feel like life just sucked. You pooped in a bucket, I would imagine, or some sort of outhouse. And it was like fucking New England in February. It's cold as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
It's dark.
It's dark. Yeah, it was a rough time. And this was the beginning of everything going completely sideways. And in our next episode, we'll talk about the trial and what happened with some of these people that had stood accused.
Can't wait.
Yeah, and it's going to be great. So thank you so much for listening.
Follow us on social medias at DTFU Podcast, all the platforms.
Yeah, dude. Check out our Patreon if you're so inclined.
If you like that Benny Franks content.
And go to our website, dtfupodcast.com.
I love it.
You can get everywhere that we're talking about right now from the website. And we have merch.
Oh my God.
Get that merch, that gorgeous merch.
Oh my God. Check out Close Call Studios.
Yes.
Close Call Studio.
Mm-hmm.
No S.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Be excellent to yourselves.
And each other.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.